now be rhetorically analyzing American Like Me, the chapter of Michelle Kwan. A little bit about this author is that Michelle Kwan is the most decorated figure skater in the U.S. history. She is a 2-time Olympic medalist, a 5-time world champion, and a 9-time U.S. champion. She is a former advisor/envoy for the U.S. Department of State and serves on the board of directors of Special Olympics International. The main argument of this text is that you can accomplish anything if you do what is needed for what you believe in. And how does Kwan construct this argument is through personal anecdotes, imagery, and the logos and pathos appeal. As you can see in the excerpt from this chapter, she states that if you work hard and take big risks for what you believe in, you can accomplish anything. And she does emphasize this through what her parents did for her and sacrificed for her childhood and for her to be able to figure skate. Now let's talk about past, which is purpose, audience, speaker, and situation. For the purpose, Michelle Kwan explains the struggles her and her family went through to get to where she is now in figure skating. The audience would be those who might relate to Kwan and her family's hardships or those who are interested in understanding her story. And the speaker, Michelle Kwan, is straightforward and honest about her past and how she got to this point in her life. The situation is Michelle Kwan's parents struggled to pay for her figure skating and to provide for her since they were immigrants, but it was well worth it. On the first page, page 125, the strategies and or appeals that were mentioned was her choice of diction, which was presenting imagery in which she's painting a beautiful picture of figure skating, which you could see in red. In blue, you could see that she uses imagery once again, but not painting such a good picture. She was actually portraying skating in a completely different way. And in orange, you see parallelism with her experience and her parents' experience with immigration, showing that both were equally difficult. And the effects were that her choices of words show both the good and bad sides of figure skating, as well as the hardships both her and her parents went through. On the second page, page 126, you see in red the logo's appeal, which was a logical approach as to why her parents immigrated and took the risk that they did. And in blue, you see a tone of perseverance, emphasizing that her parents were persistent in making the American dream into a reality, no matter the difficulties that they had to go through. And in green, you see several sentences being highlighted, where Michelle continues to explain the difficulties. And effects, her tone and examples of rough times show how it did not stop them from succeeding. On the third page, page 127, she uses personal anecdotes explaining their challenging times and how they still got through it. And in blue, you see the ethos appeal showing the reality in which she lived. And effects, you see that Michelle continues to share the difficult times, including how there was times that it was so bad financially that she almost had to quit figure skating, but how they got through it and she was able to continue doing it. On the fourth page, page 128, you see in red how she's comparing herself and how she is determined in figure skating to an example that she gave of not giving up when she won something at a competition that was held at school. And in blue, you see an ethos appeal where Michelle shows the trueness of how she and her family lived during a period of Christmas and in general. And the effects, you see that with the honesty in her words and the powerful ways she puts them together, she gives examples to really understand what her childhood was like. In the fifth page, page 129, you see in blue the pathos appeal, which was appealing to emotions where Michelle understood how much her family sacrificed and the difficulties with money for her figure skating, but that they did the best that they actually could. And in orange, you see a tone of perseverance, once again, as I mentioned. And the effects was that her choice of words show that she's taking in all of the sacrifices that were made for her in her childhood to be able to have these opportunities. The sixth page, page 130, you see in green the pathos appeal approach through emotions again, continuing with how she understands how much was sacrificed for her. And in orange, you see that she's saying that because of her home life and what she faced in her childhood, that it led to her being more self-sufficient and responsible in the end. And effects was that she explains how she wants to return to her parents what they've sacrificed by doing her absolute best. And the last page, page 131, you see in red parallelism again, but this time with her experience of going behind her coach's back to get to the senior level compared to her parents' experience of coming to America and how they were not ideal but the right thing to do. And in a light pink, you'll see that she describes the American dream as those willing to do what it takes. And the effects is Michelle expresses her gratitude and emphasizes that to get to where you want to be, you have to work hard and be willing to keep going. Thank you.